As the 21-member strong delegation of opposition MPs makes its way through conflict on Manipur, talking to local stakeholders and people affected by violence, the snipes and jabs between the centre and the opposition seem to have intensified. While the opposition MPs insist they want to just talk to the people and understand their pain, BJP is taking shots at the opposition and raising West Bengal and Rajasthan as examples of the opposition's selective outrage. Well, at this point in time, Mr. Kirti Azad, TMC spokesperson, also joins us on the broadcast. Mr. Azad, good evening to you. Thank you for speaking with us. I hope you can hear me, sir.
Yes, I can.
All right. So the foremost and the most important point is, well, the government is saying, all right, it's okay that you're attacking us, but why is this outrage selective? What happens to the opposition when they're rapes and murders and women are ill-treated in other parts of the country?
These dastardly acts are taking place off and on the country, which should be condemned. But can you compare that with Manipur, where genocide is going on, where ethnic cleansing is going on? And you can find that for the 3 months almost, the government has done nothing. The internet is shut. You're not showing internet. Is internet shut in West Bengal, Chhattisgarh or Rajasthan? No. Is there a law and order problem? No. What is in Manipur? Can you compare Manipur to these? This is the problem with BJP. They have never governed. The ones who always opposed the freedom movement, the freedom struggle, Quit India movement and other things, are the ones who are trying to teach how the government, how India should react to their questions that they are trying to put.
Right. Mr. Azad, the government also says that, 21 leaders have gone to Manipur now. Where were they all this while when, this problem, this situation, this predicament was unfolding in the state?
This is very strange. It's the government. It's a double engine ka sarkar. They are the one who are responsible for law and order in the country and in the state where they govern on a double engine. So it's quite strange when they say this, but they had their state home minister, Mr. Nityanand Rai, from the 15th of May to the 7th of July. What did he report? What did he tell us? What did he let us know? When he was there, wasn't he aware of the kind of genocide that is going on, the ethnic cleansing that is going on? When Mr. Amit Shah went there for 3 days, wasn't he aware of the viral video that we saw on the 19th of July? Wasn't Mr. Modi aware of the fact that what is happening in Manipur? He spoke for 36 seconds and 3 lines, that also after a Supreme Court observation. Why do you ask a question to opposition? You should be asking a question to the ruling party as to where is the law and order when you claim to be a double engine ka sarkar, where genocide is going on, where ethnic cleansing is taking place. I just saw in your channel a few days ago that there were 32 infants which were born in these camps. And I want to know whether they are getting proper food, whether they are getting proper nourishment that they should.
So do you think that the Chief Minister should be sacked? Because, the BJP has changed Chief Ministers for lesser important reasons in the past in a number of states.
I think there should be a governor's rule. Look at it. I mean, India is known as unity and diversity. The diverse cultures across the country, Northeast has different, South of India has different, East has different, North, West, all of us, various cultures. And here you are, you're finishing off a culture which is so beautiful. There are so many beautiful flowers in a garden, various colors, and one of it is finishing.
Mr. Azad, the union government also says that they want to have a conversation with the opposition in the parliament, but putting caveats and preconditions for the Prime Minister to come and speak on this at length in the parliament is basically putting a gun to their head. How do you respond?
Well, is he the Prime Minister of Bharatiya Janata Party or is the Prime Minister of the country? So should he not be bothered? Should he only speak outside the parliament for 3 minutes, for 36 seconds and 3 lines? Isn't he responsible for the state of affairs that is taking place in Manipur? He was the one who went into Manipur, and the standard operations that were taking place were stopped in 2016 because the Kuki Zumi people, they started talking to them. Once the elections in 2017 finished, they won. It's known that Northeast states basically stay with the center. They won it and they left it. Is this the way to do it? Isn't Prime Minister answerable? Is this only these matters of rape, dastardly acts of rape and other things that carry on in the states? But this is a matter of ethnic cleansing. This is a matter of one of the states, Manipur, which is supposed to be a very sensitive state along with the other 6 northeastern states. Why should the Prime Minister answer? Why should the Prime Minister give a statement as to what he feels about the state of affairs in Manipur?
Right. Mr. Azad, I really appreciate you took out the time and spoke to us, and you spoke your heart out. Thank you so much. All right, joining us for the remainder part of this debate is Mr. Siddharth Yadav, BJP spokesperson, Advocate Mahima Singh, Congress spokesperson, also joins us on the show. Mr. Sandeep Chachra, human rights defender, also with us, and Rakhi Bakshi, senior journalist, also joining us on the program. All right, Siddharth Yadav, if you can hear me, I'd like to begin with you. Siddharth? Mr. Yadav?
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
yes,
you just
please,
heard Mr. Kirti Azad. He had some potent and strong statements to make against the Bharatiya Janata Party. Why isn't the Prime Minister speaking out against Manipur is the question that the opposition is raking up. And why hasn't the Chief Minister in Manipur been sacked? Forget about what the opposition is doing or saying. Talk about where the failure can be fixed on behalf of the Bharatiya Janata Party. This is what the opposition has been saying. Your response?
Yeah, Vinny, thank you so much for this opportunity. I was listening to Mr. Azad and he was very categorically he was persistent about certain facts, but was very ignorant about what is actually the situation, not only in the Northeast, but also in the rest part of the country. I would say he said that you can't compare Manipur with any other part. That is true. There is no comparison. Manipur, be it the Northeast, it has its own history. It has a disturbed history. Peace activities have been going on. And it was our government which, after coming to power, ensured that a lot of armed groups also gave up their weapons and joined the mainstream. Those efforts have been constantly going on. When it comes down to crimes being happening, and specifically the shameful act that all of us saw in that viral video, those acts have to be taken care of, and we are taking care of those because now the case is also transferred to the CBI. We are ensuring 2 central agencies are going to probe that matter. And once that happens, we are going to ensure that the perpetrators of such a crime are going to put to justice. But I also ask myself a question. And that question is, are only the daughters of Manipur the daughters of India? If I have to give you some stats, the crime against women in Manipur in 2019 were 293 cases. 2020, 190 cases. 2021, 148 cases. In Rajasthan, 6,337 cases. 17 rapes a day. Are Rajasthan daughters not daughters of India? Are Bengal daughters not daughters of India? Mr. Azad did not speak a word on the situation of Bengal. The viral videos from there, the violence in the polls. Are daughters from Karnataka not daughters of India? If the Prime Minister is going to speak on something, he will speak for the entire nation, and he spoke. He spoke. But my point is, the opposition does not want the Prime Minister's answer. They do not. I can ask a simple question to my anti-India alliance friends from here. If the motion for no confidence has been accepted in the parliament and they know a discussion is going to happen on a designated time, why the protest? Why do you want the parliament to not function? Why do you want that? You know a discussion is going to happen. You know the Prime Minister is going to respond to that. You know you will have the opportunity of 1 day or 2 days to have a full-fledged discussion on that. But the only idea is you don't want a discussion to happen because you don't want the country to discuss on NRF, on the mediation bill, the 33 bills that had to come in 18 days. In the past 10 sessions, we have been seeing that the opposition has been bringing up, be it a foreign documentary, a fake border issue, a fake defense deal, anything comes up and they just want the parliament to not discuss anything. And that is the problem.
Okay.
So when it comes down to Northeast, we are ensuring that all perpetrators of such heinous crime, they'll be put to justice. We were ensuring for past 2 months, 3 months. We are also going to ensure wherever the failure was, we are going to fix that. But how can Congress defend when they come out and say that Manipur is such a small state, it doesn't really matter?
Okay.
How does they say that none of their Prime Minister, Mr. Manmohan Singh, did not visit the Northeast even once? Our Prime Minister visits Northeast and you compare those visits.
Okay, let's get a response to what you've said. Let's get a response to what you have said. Let's get a response to what you have said. Advocate Mahima Singh, if you can hear me.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind. Well, Mr. Yadav has made some scathing attacks on you. He said that former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh hardly visited Manipur, and is it okay to have a selective outrage when it comes to the women, the mothers and daughters and sisters of this country?
They don't have the face to talk about Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, who made a public statement, who resonated with the sentiment of the nation when Nirbhaya happened. And he did not derail that statement. He made a clear-cut, crystal clear statement then when the whole country had come together and there were candle marches and there were protests all across the country. Now today, I have a lot of stuff which I want to say already, which I'll come to later. But there are three highlights of the BJP spokesperson's statement here. You know, their deflection attempts know no bounds, Vineet. He said anti-India alliance. Let me ask him, I fear that they will call their own MLAs anti-India because they have the BJP MLAs. One BJP MLA from Manipur has actually categorically said that the BJP government in the center and the state is fanning the flames of violence and fury in Manipur. There is another MLA who is lying paralyzed in a hospital in Delhi. Ask the BJP spokesperson, has the Prime Minister or the Home Minister or the spokesperson himself or a worker gone to see that MLA? And then there was a delegation of 9 MLAs from Manipur that came calling upon the PM in Delhi, but the PM had no time. Political tourism is a term that the BJP has picked up today, is a part of their toolkit for defending their party today. The political tourism, of course, the BJP will talk about, because 254 crore rupees have been spent upon Prime Minister's foreign visits in the past 5 years, about which the country people know nothing. The Prime Minister has never come back and conferred upon the people what was he doing on those visits. Now today they say that this is political tourism. All right, I mean, even if we were to stay on that statement of theirs, which is very lowly in a political discourse, I would ask them, what is stopping the Prime Minister? Are we not paying enough taxes to the Prime Minister for him to visit Manipur at least once to speak with? He keeps on doing these video conferences. Can't he do a video conferences with the Manipur CM once? He will not, because the history has it. There are parallels to be drawn between Prime Minister Narendra Modi of the CM of Gujarat, the then CM of Gujarat in 2002, and the CM of Manipur now, which is Biren Singh. There are parallels to be drawn there. Then you see, they're talking about showing off. Today there is a Shiksha Samagam happening. All right, all these Samagams and everything is all right. But the daughters of Manipur are being raped, paraded naked. There is crime, there is ethnic cleansing. We heard a learned panelist speak about it earlier. But there is no, report taking by the Prime Minister. There is not even a single, the top government sources and come out and say that the Prime Minister is taking report every 3 hours and things. They're having to manage headlines today because they cannot give the headline which the country and the world needs today. The headline that we would have liked, that the country would have liked today, would have looked something like this: that Prime Minister Modi asks insurgent CM of Manipur to step aside, but he would not do that because they do not know, the words accountability, responsibility are out of the BJP vocabulary.
Okay.
So the BJP is...
Right, Mr. Yadav wants to respond to what you've said.
I'll just take 10 more seconds.
Okay,
I'll just take 10 more seconds and complete my thought.
Finish up, ma'am.
Yeah, I mean, you see, on one hand is Mr. Rahul Gandhi and the Congress that puts politics aside, and the India delegation today, which is visiting Manipur, putting politics aside, but humanity first. That is what we have always done. That is what we are doing. And on the other hand, is the state of Manipur, the government of Manipur, which is sponsoring the state genocide.
We have a paucity of time. We have to accommodate everyone. Rakhi Bakshi, I'll come to you. Mr. Yadav, I'll come to you. Mr. Yadav, I'll come to you. There are other people also who want to speak here. Rakhi Bakshi, I'll come to you. Rakhi, where's the failure here? Political parties are only going to get into whataboutery. You did this, I did this, and I did this, and you did that. But at the same time, what becomes of this situation? How are we, in fact, bettering it by having these debates and these arguments?
Of course, we all are talking about it. The heat is very much on, Vineet, but and it has been given to CBI. We all understand that the situation is complex, the situation is sensitive, the situation is a great matter of concern, and we all would agree on that. But I think we can't only pinpoint to to one incident, or in fact one video where of course the whole nation was shaken. I think we have to look at Manipur with a prism of a very holistic kind of viewpoint. We have to also look at the narratives as to what was happening in all these years. We have to look at the complex processes which were going on, and we need to understand those narratives. On your channel only, I've been coming and talking about things about Manipur, and some of the military experts we have all heard are also talking about some external influences, indirectly referring also even to China, the porous border. That part is there. Internally, of course, I think there should have been things. Knowing a little bit of what I understand of Manipur, I have visited it earlier. The women, of course, I was very happy that they were playing a leading role as far as the economy is concerned. I mean, to see that today they are being made somewhere, the whole center stage in a very negative manner, in a manner which creates violence, in a manner which creates these kind of debates, is actually unfortunate. Talking about other states, I would say, again, it's unfortunate that at this time, instead of our concerns becoming for women, crimes against women that we must speak against, we are talking about which state and which state or not. But yes, we have to look at other cases as well. Why not? We have to look at all other states. I won't single out only if you're talking about West Bengal, Rajasthan, this state or that state. I think crimes against women, of course, must be, as a woman I speak here, must be looked at very seriously by all political parties.
Okay.
And there must be a cohesive approach, and a well thought about strategy as to how to deal with all these things. But yes, coming to Manipur, I think right now, as the agency is looking at, we saw of course, the Home Minister also visiting. I'm sure at this point of time, we all are discussing it, but much is going behind. There must have been meetings which are going on at a very serious level. Not everything comes out on television. There are things which are happening behind the scenes. We don't know much about that.
Okay.
But I think we need to deal all this with a lot of sensitivity at this point of time, I would say that.
Mr. Sandeep Chatra, who has failed Manipur? Is it the politics, the politicians, the union government, the state government? Who has failed Manipur?
I think, thank you for having me here, and I just follow the previous panelist, Rakhi-ji. I want to say that, questions of selectivity aside, as when it comes to injustice, when it comes to crime, when it comes to violence against women, when it comes to sexual violence against women, we cannot be selective. So let me just begin there. But let me also say that democratic accountability, particularly this vexed moment in the time of Manipur, demands highest and urgent action to make sure that we have the process of justice there, we have peace in sight, and it is the responsibility of a public representative, irrespective of which party they come from. It is one of their foremost responsibilities to maintain peace and justice as much as it is for the wider society. So I want to start there. I also want to say that in that context, whether it's the visit of the alliance, India alliance to Manipur, which is ostensibly, and what they have said is for healing, for listening, or whether it is now the visit of the Honorable Governor of Manipur today to the camps in Churachandpur. I think these are important steps in peace-building process going ahead, and I think these are all welcome. You see, the Manipur Legislative Assembly hasn't had those special sessions, which is where they ought to have been. But given the state of borders within Manipur, the divisions within Manipur, that hasn't happened. So as the discussion in the parliament comes up in the next week, it's important that we have the views of people coming up through our public representatives into those parliamentary discussions to not just sort of discover truth, but also it is the responsibility of our public leaders who are in a representative democracy to actually build the path forward, what needs to be done, and that needs to be done collectively. You see, Vineet, I want to also say on the question of the videos which was being talked of, you see, unlike silence, truth has a habit, and that's an ancient habit of truth. It speaks It's never silenced. It will show itself as well. So as soon as the internet ban was removed, you saw some videos pouring out. So it's not just one. There are many other videos which are doing the rounds. And we know the precarious situation, the kind of social violence, the kind of weaponization of the society which has happened in Manipur. And in that regard, any process of peace must see, to begin with, an important emphasis on justice before reconciliation can happen.
All right.
You see, those who, I'll be very quick, Vinayji, those who have perpetrated crimes and killings must be brought to the long arm of the law. I mean, why is the delay? There are thousands of FIRs which are there. I think that's the first action. Women,
I agree with you.
Survivors of violence, those who have been sexually assaulted, molested, raped, and also physically assaulted, they must see protection from the state, and we must have that process. They must see, survivors must see, a process going ahead, a process of healing, psychosocial healing going ahead.
Right, sir. Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Mr. Chatra. Mr. Yadav, you wanted to come back. You wanted to, in fact, respond to what Mahimaji said. Now's the opportunity.
Yeah. Yes, I'll just give a few quick rebuttals. I'll also add to what Mr. Sandeep was saying, and he was very right on a lot of fronts. But what concerns me more is sometimes the truth takes longer to come out and speak itself. For the videos which have not come out yet, it should not happen that our hearts don't melt. Because a lot of things are happening in a lot of states where videos are not coming out, which are more grave, more serious, which require our attention, and we should go ahead. Madam Mahima was saying a lot of things about PM's foreign visits and the Nirbhaya, PM speaking on Nirbhaya. Nirbhaya was outrageous. The PM spoke after Delhi Chief Minister came out. Sheila Dikshit came out and said that, why are you blowing it out of proportion? It's not a big case. This is what the Congress does. Nobody has said this. We are unequivocally condemning what has happened in Manipur. It's a law and order issue, we'll deal with it. It's a border state issue, we'll deal with it. We're dealing with all aspects. With what Madam Rakhi was saying, we have to look at from a prism of so many factors that are going to happen. And to Madam Mahima,
so Mr. Yadav, that's what the opposition is saying, that why did it have to come to this for you to deal with it? Why wasn't it dealt with? That's the problem.
No, absolutely, Vineet. It looks like it has come down to this. And it looks like probably, a lot of things can be done. Absolutely. But if we say that it was not dealt with, I would not agree to that.
Okay, all right. We've run out of time. I want Mahimaji to come back. Mahimaji, quickly.
Last 5 seconds. 40,000 men were there in Manipur. The Home Minister, Union Home Minister camped there for 3 days. The MOF Home Minister was there the entire time. And when it comes down to Prime Minister going to foreign visits, probably, Madam Mahima, you can't understand what the Prime Minister is doing there because you don't want to look at the positive side.
All right. Mahimaji, quickly.
Allow me a rebuttal here.
Quick, 30 seconds, Mahimaji. We've run out of time.
Look at the audacity of the BJP spokesperson when he talks about Mr. Manmohan Singh and when he talks about what Ms. Sheila Dikshit said then, because he says that was outrageous, but in his opinion, probably women being paraded naked and what was done there is not outrageous. He is saying, please do not intervene, I did not intervene. I did not intervene.
Mr. Yadav, let her finish her point. Let her finish her point.
Yeah.
Vinesh,
he said that we are dealing with it. Don't let it, because then the truth will come out.
I'll give you an opportunity. I'll give you another 10 seconds, Mr. Yadav.
They don't want, and allow me to complete my thought.
Please.
They are saying that what happened during Nirbhaya was outrageous, but this is not outrageous. The CM himself saying there are hundreds of such incidences, which is why we have shut down the internet. I mean, can there be a more brazen statement than that? And now he's saying we are dealing with it. What they are dealing with, they've ordered a CBI inquiry into how did the videos go viral, not into how did 4,500 arms go missing from under the watch of the security forces, not into the hundreds of incidences that the CM is pointing towards, not in the unprecedented violence that the governor is pointing towards.
We've run out of time.
Let me respond.
5 seconds, Mr. Yadav, 5 seconds.
Please, next debates, please hear clearly. What was outrageous was your Chief Minister's comment. That is what I was saying. If Sheila Dikshit comes out and says that you're blowing it out of proportion, if you feel I should not find it outrageous,
said, you think is decent?
All right, okay, we've run out of time. We've completely run out of time. I apologize, Mr. Yadav and Mahimaji and Mr. Chatra. Rakhi Bakshi, appreciate you took out the time and spoke to us, but obviously tempers do flare up when you talk about Manipur, because everything, as you all know, is not right there.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.